When Peter Michael Dowd, a fan of Led Zeppelin, heard about a Japanese guitarist that not only paid tribute to Jimmy Page with his live shows, but adopted an attention to detail that makes him the most dedicated Page cover artist of all time, he knew he had to find this guy and share his story with the world. This is that story. Starting with some background to Akio Sakari, who dedicated his passion to learning not only the iconic tracks that Led Zeppelin brought to the world, but every variation of performance from as many live concerts that the band did over the years, while still working in a standard salaryman day job. We discover how Mr. Jimmy started making a name for himself in the Tokyo nightlife. His note-for-note accuracy in recreating the vintage Zeppelin experience had gathered some following and gained Mr. Jimmy some recognition with fans around the world. Equipment is sourced to be as authentic as possible, a somewhat costly endeavour due to the availability of parts for older equipment, and Akio has a friend who helps craft his wardrobe, scouring images of the great Page himself to obtain the finest of details when crafting replicas. But when wanting to grow the Mr. Jimmy act, Akio takes the step to the west and heads to LA to seek fame and hopefully fortune there. This is the point at which Peter came in, and in this documentary that explores the culture divide within fandoms worldwide and the struggles that Mr. Jimmy had in finding people with similar mindsets in the US to share his passion for recreating the whole Led Zeppelin concert experience in intricate detail. Most tribute acts, and indeed fans of acts in the West, just want a set list of greatest hits covers without any flourishes. What Mr. Jimmy delivers is something different. It's the full experience, taking you back in time to a particular concert being presented, including extended solos and experimentations, as well as variations on riffs that evolved over the years. This is a fascinating and marvellously shot and deeply intimate exploration of obsession, fandom, and ambition. And Akio himself is extremely likeable as a person, even in his most obsessive of moments, making his journey one that you feel a curious connection with, finding yourself rooting for him to find a place where others can feel the same way that he does about the music that he loves. Of course, having a love for the music of Led Zeppelin myself also helped with the enjoyment of the film, and the film is packed with recognisable riffs and beats, but it's not essential to be a fan, as this is one of those documentaries that starts following someone just at the right moment to capture drama and passion in such a fascinating journey. By the end of the film, I felt a personal connection with Akio, wanting to support him and see him continue in his passion for the music and indeed the artist that he loves. There's a wonderful moment in the film when Page himself attends one of Mr. Jimmy's gigs, and you can see the absolute joy in his face when his hero shows appreciation for his work. In that same way, should I ever get the chance to see Mr. Jimmy live, I will demonstrate that same joy. Based on the 2007 comic of the same name, Robot Dreams is an animated movie written and directed by Pablo Berger, which is a look at friendship and loss without the use of dialogue. Set in Manhattan in 1984, Dog lives alone and he feels lonely and isolated, whilst others around him appear to have companionship in friends and partners. When he sees an advert on TV for a robot friend that you can build, he immediately orders one. Once built, he and Robot do everything together, and Dog feels like he finally has joy and purpose in his life. However, summer's end comes and the pair spend the day at the beach, and at the end of the day, they find that the exposure to the seawater has rusted Robot in place. Dog reluctantly heads home for the night, aiming to return the next day to help his friend, only to find that the beach has been locked up closed for the season, and he's unable to get to his friend and ends up getting arrested as he tries to break in. Robot, stuck in place on the beach, must spend months alone, with only his dreams to give him hope of returning to his friend. This is superb visual storytelling, which all ages can explore and enjoy, telling a tale that's heartbreaking and heartwarming all at once. The journey of Dog and Robot is a roller coaster of emotions from start to finish, and a wonderful exploration of the meaning of friendships and the evolution of a relationship over time. The joy of finding a new friend to share your pastimes with. We've all had that one friend that we were inseparable from, who, as time wore on, we grew distant with, and maybe still wonder about reconnecting with, only were too nervous to take that first step. This film speaks to that part of each and every one of us through wonderfully simple yet detailed animation, without dialogue, but with music throughout, especially the song September by Earth, Wind and Fire. This film connected with me on a soulful level, much like how Marcel Lachelle did last year, and it spoke to me in a language that I could understand. I was initially charmed, then completely absorbed, before becoming blubbery-eyed, while still finding some hilarity in the more comical moments. By the end of the film, I felt like reaching out to old friends that I'd left behind, only to wonder whether I've left it too late. So instead, put on a song that we both used to love and remembered the good times we shared. This is absolute recommended watching.